Assalamualaikum to my lecturer, Dr. Nan Musali. My name is Ahmad Farhan bin Raizul, and today I will presenting my case study for risk assessment. The title of my presentation is Risk Assessment Case Study at my internship location, which is PEPS GV Melaka, Sendirian Berhad. This case study focuses on identifying workplace hazard, evaluating the level of risk, and recommending suitable control measures to improve occupational safety and health within the company. Now we move to the company overview. FGV Melaka Sdn Bhd is an automotive vehicle assembly company located in Haikom Pegut Industrial Park, Alor Gajah, Melaka. The company assembles passenger vehicles for international automotive manufacturers such as Great Wall, GWM, BAIC, and also MG. Its operations include vehicle assembly, material handling, welding, vehicle testing, maintenance, and logistics. Since these activities involve heavy machinery, moving vehicles, electrical system, and chemicals, employees are exposed to various workplace hazards. Therefore, the company is an excellent example for conducting a comprehensive workplace risk assessment. Now we move to the objective of the case study. The objective of this case study first, to identify hazard that exists within the workplace. Second, to analyze the risks associated with each hazard by determining the likelihood and severity. Third, to prioritize the risk using a risk matrix. Finally, to recommend suitable control measures that can reduce workplace accidents and improve occupational safety and health. Now we move to the methodology. Several methods were used to collect information during this assessment. The first method was workplace observation, where production areas, maintenance workshop, logistic areas, and testing sections were inspected. The second method was hazard identification survey to identify potential hazard in daily work activities. The third method was job safety analysis, or JSA, which examined each task, identified potential hazards, and evaluated the associated risks. Finally, discussions were held with operators, supervisors, and maintenance staff to gather information about work practice, previous incidents, and existing safety measures. The collected data was then evaluated using a risk matrix. Now we move to the hazard identification. Through the survey, a total of 25 workplace hazards were identified. These hazards were grouped into several categories, including mechanical hazards, electrical hazard, chemical hazard, ergonomic hazards, housekeeping hazard, noise hazard, fire hazard, and falling object hazard. Examples include moving conveyor system, forklift operation, oil spill, electrical wiring, manual lifting, welding activities, machine guarding issues, and excessive machine noise. Identifying this hazard is the first step toward preventing workplace accidents. Now we move on to the risk analysis. For the risk analysis, after identifying the hazard, each one was analyzed based on its likelihood of occurring and the severity of its consequence. The assessment found is no low is a risk hazard, 10 medium for the risk hazard, 14 high for the risk hazard, and 1 extreme for the risk hazard. With the percentage of the low is 0%, For the medium is 40%, for the high is the 56%, and the extreme is 4%. This shows that more than half of the hazard require immediate corrective action to reduce the risk to workers. Now we move to the highest risk from the 25 hazard, which is the forklift operation. Forklifts are frequently used to transport heavy materials throughout the factory, increasing the possibility of collisions with workers. The likelihood of this hazard is rated as high with a score of 4. The severity is rated as catastrophic with a score of 5, because an accident could result in permanent disability or even death. Therefore, the overall risk score is 20, which falls under the extreme risk category. Maybe you're questioning why forklift operation is critical. Forklift operation is considered the most critical hazard because forklifts and pedestrians often work in the same area. Drivers may have limited visibility due to the size of the load they are carrying. If proper traffic management is not implemented, collisions can occur. Such accidents may cause fatalities, permanent disabilities, serious injuries, and damage to company property. Therefore, this hazard requires immediate attention to the company. Other high-risk hazard that I listed, which is beside forklift operations, several other hazards were classified as high risk too. These include moving conveyor systems, working under suspended loads, working at height during maintenance, electrical equipment and wiring, welding activities, poor workstation ergonomics, and machine without adequate guarding. For most, although these hazards are not classified as extreme, they still have the potential to cause severe injuries if proper control measures are not implemented. Now we move to the risk matrix. This is such an important table which is used to determine the overall level of risk by combining likelihood and severity. The highest the likelihood and severity, the higher the risk score. The metric classifies hazard into low, medium, high, and extreme categories. This system helps management prioritize which hazard should be controlled first, ensuring resources are focused on the most critical risks. Move to the several control measure that we are recommended. For forklift operation, pedestrian walkways should be separated from vehicle roads. Speed limits should be enforced. Warning alarms maybe should install, and only licensed operators should be allowed to operate forklift wherever you go. Maybe also we can make a routine inspection, and regular safety training should also be carried out to minimize accidents. For the additional safety improvement, in addition to forklift control, several improvements are recommended. Machine guarding should be installed on all dangerous equipment. Maybe some lockout takeout procedure should be followed during maintenance. And also, employees should receive regular safety training and always wear appropriate PPE. And the company should also improve housekeeping through 5S practice, redesign workstation based on ergonomic principles, and conduct regular workplace inspection. For the benefit of risk assessment, conducting a proper risk assessment provides many benefits. It reduces workplace accidents and injuries, improves employee safety and health, increase productivity by reducing downtime, ensure compliance with occupational safety and health regulation, and promotes a stronger safety culture within the organization. Overall, effective risk management benefit both employees and the company. In conclusion, this case study identified 35 workplace hazards at PEP's GV Malacca. Most hazards were classified as high risk, while workplace operation was identified as the only extreme risk. By implementing engineering control, administrative control, PPE, and continuous monitoring, the company can significantly reduce workplace accidents and create a safer working environment. For the rigorous assessment should continue to ensure workplace safety is maintained. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.